Last time I showed an exercise in making the most used joint in woodworking, the mortise and tenon. In this exercise, I show how to make another very popular joint, the dovetail. The dovetail is the strongest joint for joining pieces together at right angles in their thickness, and is widely used for boxes, cabinet carcasses, drawers, and similar box-like structures. Its advantage is that it has considerable mechanical strength. There are three main types: the through dovetail that shows on both outer surfaces, the lap dovetail or blind dovetail that shows on one side but not the other, and the secret or hidden dovetail in which the dovetail is completely hidden. In this case, I show a through dovetail, but one that is decorative. Indeed, dovetails have become an attractive feature, and here is one style that would look good in many furniture examples. Here is how the joint looks in mahogany. And here is a dimension drawing that can be used for this exercise. I also made a top view in parallel projection, shown here, and this is what I would use as a template in the shop. So let's proceed then and go through the exercise of recreating this decorative dovetail. I'll start with a rectangle tool and start the rectangle here. That's horizontal. I want it vertical, so I'll type in now the dimensions of the block of wood that I've shown in the drawing. Here is the face of that vertical piece, which I call the side. I'll make that a component, double click, make component, and I'll call it side. And then give it some thickness here. I chose 7/8 for this example. The horizontal piece is the same size, so I'll just copy this size and explode it to make it a different component called top, and then rotate it 90 degrees with the rotate tool. It's not positioned correctly. Let me use the move tool and bring it down into its position. So now these two pieces are overlapped. And now the process of using that dimension drawing and creating various horizontal guidelines that position parts of the dovetail joint. I'll only recreate half of the dovetails here, since the dovetails are symmetrical. I can then copy the other half. So I want 3 3/8, and that should do it for enough of the guidelines. Now, all of the angles in this example I've shown as 9.5 degrees. That's a pretty good angle for dovetail joints. So I place that angle at this point on the dovetail, and again here And now I need the opposite angle using the protractor. 9.5 degrees, again typing that in. And I'll just use the tape measure to create a parallel line connecting here and one more time. So this is enough. Oops, let me do that again. I didn't connect it right at the intersection where the X is. Okay, now I need this half point direction because of there's small dovetails as well as the big ones. And now I can draw, edit the top component and draw in the outline of the small dovetails here. And trace over the guidelines for the 9.5 degree angles. One more edge. And I can delete all those guidelines and now see the outline of those dovetails. I'll copy that set and move it over to the other side, although I need to open the component for edit first. Wait a minute, I've got the wrong component highlighted, open. That isn't. Now edit this component and then select the dovetail shapes and move that over here and flip it on the red axis and bring it over. But where do I position it? I forgot a guideline. I need a guideline to show where to position this. So I'm going to shift this back over and place the guideline 3/8 inch off the edge and now connect it to the guideline, and I've got the dovetail set complete, except I forgot also the tip of the dovetails here, tracing over. Okay, now we're making the tails first, so I'm driving these sockets down, double clicking, and that completes the tails on that top section. And we can use the existing edges to trace over and edit the vertical piece. Trace over these shapes with the line tool. This is I did do this in a tails first example. Usually that's what I tend to favor in the shop, And again, I'm going to just copy the half over to the right on the red axis, flip it on the red axis. And I'm not sure this is any quicker than just tracing over, but anyway, we should now have the pins made. Edit the component and then drive this waist area down. Double click on that and get that down, and that should complete the creation of the decorative dovetails. We pull this apart, have a closer look.